Welcome to Conversations with the Black Girl Blogger podcast, where you will hear amazing human interest stories from everyday people. They will inspire you, they will encourage you, and they will help you to overcome all of what you are going through in your life. I am your host, Aisha Morgan, and let's meet today's guest. In part 2 of our episode, we will be discussing our experiences with other races and how they interact with us regarding our natural hair. This is a discussion that is hopefully going to allow others to learn from our experience. This does not mean that the ladies on the podcast are racist. However, we would like for you to understand boundaries and personal space when you are attempting to touch a black woman's hair. We hope that you all enjoyed today's episode. I want to ask y'all, have you been in a situation where the how do I put this? The internet meme of choice for black hair of white women either making a comment about it, trying to touch it, pointing out something being different. Did your hair grow? Did you cut your hair? Like, tell me a story of when you were in a situation where a white woman, because that's usually who it is, let's just be honest, made some kind of reference about your hair where you're just like, here we go.
I can say that working in the entertainment industry has been...
You muted yourself.
Okay, working in the entertainment industry has been very interesting. And I remember when I first flat ironed my hair and came to work, the looks and the stops and the questions. Is that your hair? And what happened? You changed your hair? I said, yes, this is all my hair. Because, you know, when the shrinkage you talk about, it looks like that. And when you straighten it, it's all the way down your back. So just the interaction, I'm talking about my hair the whole day. What is wrong with you? I'm here to do a job and go home. So I was just shocked at how you say white women said or commented on it, because I'm like, it's not your business. I wouldn't comment on your hair. So I'm sorry, guys, but he just is so busy. So I just was like, okay, you know, I'm really dumbfounded on people capitalizing on our hair, because in California, I learned about, you know, the Koreans owning a shop in the hood and making all this billion-dollar industry offer black hair. It's like, you know, it's just different. And I'm just saying, you know, thank goodness. And that's why I want to wear my hair more natural, is because people need to see me in my natural state and not in an altered state that they think my hair should be, like straight, like theirs. They want me to look like them. And I need to want to look like myself.
Yeah. Anybody else have a story?
It's so many.
I was just gonna say, how much time do we have? How much time is left?
Yeah, I can't even pick one. I mean, to pick one, I will have to say it was from a corporate experience. From, you know, just, you know, you get to that point in your career when it's time to do something else. So I was in that space, and I would wear my hair all kinds of, like, this is my normal. This is the 2 braids. I got the little curls out in the back. I'll do that. Or I'll wear mine like yours, Jen. I'll just braid it up and pin it in.
Do the little clippy
in the braids. Or I would do kind of the big Afro puff up top. Because I really like that and it was easy to do. But I am very sporadic when it comes to hair. I'll do something that might be like this for 2-3 days, and then I'm gonna do something else. So in this instance, I would do something like that. And it was this one lady, me and her, we had just kind of got to this point in our relationship that I just really didn't want you to talk to me. It was, it was just something about you that, your energy was off. I just really didn't want you to talk to me. And in this day, I think it was in a puff, but it was much bigger than it normally was. Sometimes, you wet it and then you wrap it out and you tuck it so it's nice, it's nice and neat, like a nice little Liberian. This time it was out, like it was all the way out. And I was sitting at my desk and she walked past me and there was like a little divider thing right there. She was saying, she's like, oh my goodness, Jasmin, your hair. She's like, it looks so good today. It looks so soft. Can I? No, you cannot put your hands in my head. No, you cannot. And that's all I remember, you know, one of them out-of-body experiences.
Oh my God.
That's all I remember.
Fade to black.
My tone was a little bit elevated. But it was one of those things like, why is, you know, that, and that was, of course, you know, during the days and the weeks, I would do things different. I would hear people say, oh, your hair looks different. Or, you know, adding the braids. Oh, your hair is so long. It's so long now. And I'm just like, yeah, y'all just don't get it. But it was that moment for me with that lady. I'd heard stories and seen the memes and all that stuff, but I really hadn't had that experience from somebody who sees me all the time now, you know, wanting to touch my hair. So yeah, I've had it. I've had all of them.
I've actually had a lady touch my hair, and she was a manager of mine, God rest her soul, Miss Pope. And so I came to work, and I had found, I think I was using Kinky Curly products at the time, you know, where it makes it kind of crunchy. Yeah. So I had come up with a system, right, where I take the marshmallow stuff and I dilute it in water and I whip it, and then I put it in there with leave-in conditioner so it holds, but it's not all crunchy. It was like a whole thing. And so I get to work, and I'm working, minding my own beeswax. And so she walks by my cube, and she's like, oh my goodness, your hair is curly like a corkscrew. And so she grabs it and then she pulls it out. No. And she's like, and look, it goes forever. No. And so I stopped, and I didn't want to lose my job that day because I was still a single mom at the time. And so instead of me being like, bitch, I know you just didn't, I collected myself. And then I'm just like, Miss Pope, how would you like it if I came to your cube and touched your hair? Would that be appropriate? And she's like, well, my hair just, no, it's not what I asked. Would that be appropriate? Because if it's inappropriate for me to touch your gray hair that is shoulder length and drab, it is also inappropriate for you to touch my hair that defies gravity. Thank you very much. And you have a great afternoon away from my cube. And so I think in that moment of like me standing up for myself, like as a younger person, I was like, oh God, I'm getting fired today. Like HR is coming and they're walking me the hell up out of here because I just told this lady that her hair was shoulder length and drab. Like, and she was my manager. And so I'm just like, I have hundreds of those, right? I mean, I said earlier about how the man acted like he didn't know my name until I straightened my hair and I did the whole curly thing. He's like, oh my gosh, Magenta. I'm like, just call me hair. That's the only time you seem to notice me. But I mean, it's a thing.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate for us as Black women. It's repeat, and I learned how to ignore it because I'm like, y'all have a problem. Y'all like I look like alien before when I straightened my hair. I just couldn't believe it, and I couldn't believe how much male attention I got at work.
That's just like, it's just unacceptable to me. Like if that stuff is happening at work, I'm in HR. Like you're not doing that. Like, and I think like the spaces that I've been in educational spaces for over a decade. That's just not going down. And I don't know if it's because my students, and I always talk about this in class about reading the Black female body as a teacher, what that means. So we talk about these things in class. And they have a language for it. And my colleagues were all kind of in this space. So there's no way that would ever happen to me in those spaces, not at that time, not saying that it never will happen, but I did notice like, when we'd be at the club or something, drunk white girls would definitely come up and be like, oh my God, can I touch your curls or something like, and so like the space kind of also necessitates like some of this foul behavior. But I guess I've been fortunate enough not to encounter those things because in higher education right now, because I don't know, this is all we talk about. But it's happened in spaces that I think people are less aware of their of what they're doing. And I've heard a lot of stories about it in corporate America. But yeah,
I will say to me, I think that some people feel like boundaries don't apply to them.
Yes.
Because if I'm curious, I should be able to show my curiosity and invade your personal space.
Right.
And I will tell you, I have stories about my hair, but I'm about to switch gears to tell you just exactly how people feel about like their privilege. When I started going out with Kingsley, Black older ladies, guys, whatever, she is so cute. Keep on walking. She is a cutie. Keep on walking. White women don't say a word. You know what I see? Their hands.
Yeah.
And it never fails. If someone is looking at her, you see their hands first. And I'm not even kidding to y'all. Like this lady, I was in the grocery store, and it was very rare that we would go out anyway. And Kingsley wore the turbans all the time. Like she wore her little turbans. And the lady came and went to grab the knob of the front of her turban. And I situate myself to where I can see her if I'm like doing something. So I'm like, get in a bag to get some apples. And of course, like I can't be facing her for all the actions. So I just quickly turn, grab the bag, and the lady didn't say a word to me. I'm literally seeing her hand doing this coming towards my kid. And I was like, I like my job and I don't want to go to jail. So I advise you to move your hand. And she was like, no, I just wanted to touch it. It's so cute. And I was like, what's wrong with you? That is my kid and it's COVID. Are you crazy? And then these white girls was like, I know, that is so terrible. Like, how do you just touch somebody's kid? And when they look, she's like, oh my God, you guys are overreacting. But that's what I'm saying. Like they don't get it. And I have had people touch my hair in a school, other teachers who, like, you have kinky twists, you have, now faux locks, but I didn't wear faux locks back then. You got braids. So then I would sometimes wear my hair where the ends were out, but it was braided at the root. And so I remember I had like blonde, like hair braided into my micro braids, but the ends of it were curly. And so I'm sitting there talking and I just feel this. And I was like, did you just touch my hair? And I turn around and she's like, yeah, it just looks so fluffy. And like kind of does that to her hair. And I was like, I know that I'm like a very friendly person, but you're my coworker and I'm nice to you because you're my coworker. But if you would like to see how I would treat somebody that does not work with me, touch my hair again. And so she was like, I don't see the big deal. I mean, I didn't really like pull it. I just like fluffed it. And I was like, I don't care. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, who does that? But it's that I'm curious. Like, I just want to know. I just want to see, like, what does it feel like? And then she said, like, well, yesterday your hair didn't have blonde, so did you get it dyed? I'm like, don't talk to me. This conversation is over.
Over with.
You've already exceeded your time limit in my space. But it's like that little type of thing where it's like, why are you overreacting? It's not overreacting. What if I went and pulled your damn kid's hair while you were at the grocery store? You would think that's okay?
Right.
I just wanted to see if it was attached to her head.
Like the baby came out that way.
Right. And they don't get it. Like, I don't care if I have a 8-pound wig on my head. Don't touch me. Like,
but I think people think that they can do that. And thank God ain't nobody ever touched me because I would have flatlined. Where they was at, you just don't. I don't like to be touched. I know you may not know that. I just don't touch me. You can look, you can ask questions, But I get a lot of stares when I go places with Alex, because a lot of people think Alex is not my kid. They'll stop and ask questions. And I'm like, because I'm dark and he's light. And I'm like, maybe the hair is different. And I see that from other cultures. They'll be looking at me and they'll like, because especially that he is, Latino. And I'm like, huh? And they be like, I've had people ask me questions and wanted to touch Alex, especially when he was smaller. And I thank God no one ever stepped out of line, because I hate that, wanting to touch somebody else's something.
Yes.
You keep your hands to yourself. And I just don't like it. And Aisha, thank God that you was able to not, do anything and not react negatively. But I'm just, no, y'all know I'm violent and I'll fight in a minute. So I just like, okay, I'm good. So thank goodness that, I kind of let, I don't mind my sisters or somebody my color doing that, but it's always the others. So, Tara, I don't want you to log off. Do you have anything you want to say before you get off?
Yeah, you have any closing remarks? I appreciate you like coming on and joining in on this discussion, but I know you gotta get up early tomorrow. So
yeah, no, I just think that this is like an awesome conversation, and it's a wonderful space for us to talk about this stuff, because we don't normally have these. Well, I'll speak for myself. I don't normally have these spaces in my university, especially. So yeah, just thank you for offering this space up for us each. And then also, I'm just so sorry that this crap has happened to y'all, but you got through it. But yeah, I when you all were talking, I had a visceral reaction. But I love y'all to death.
Love you too.
Love you too.
And we got to do this again.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Aisha got the podcast, so
I know. Don't let me know what else we're gonna talk about. I'm ready.
All right. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out.
I know you will. All right. I love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Magenta, did you just pick up a burger?
It's a pop.
Oh, I'm like, I know I'm not crazy.
It helps my my ADD. I pop it. My anxiety, like I pop it, and then you flip it, and then you pop it.
I know Kingsley has them, but I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. I just saw a burger at the bottom of her screen.
Yes.
And I'm not hungry, so I know. I'm like, I know I'm not tripping. But yeah, y'all, I just think that, when white women don't understand white privilege, you just give them that example. Like, if you saw something that you were curious about, would you go and touch it? 9 times out of 10, they're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to
be very honest. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. And I think I just think where I am in my life, I'm all done explaining things to people. Like, I'm tired of explaining racism. I'm tired of explaining white privilege. I'm tired of explaining white male privilege. I'm tired of explaining so many things to people who have access to the same information that I have. It is exhausting being the only, and then I hired an office full of women because I was tired of an office full of men, right? So I'm tired of, it is exhausting sometimes, right? Like being an African-American woman in leadership, it is exhausting being everyone's consistent example of what a Black woman should be, right? Like it is exhausting. The hair, do I want to beat my face today? Do I want to do my hair today? Like if we have a vendor lunch or something, like what am I going to wear? Like, why do I have to think about that stuff when all the men are going to wear jeans?
Yeah, exactly. And a button up.
Right. And look disheveled and weird. Mm-hmm. But if I were to wear the same thing, oh, you didn't want to dress up for the lunch today? I have on what you have on, sir. Why do I have to do something different?
Right. We in the same uniform.
Exactly. Like, what is happening? Right. But I think, I don't know. And it is exhausting explaining how, like I learned the other day, so y'all know, I'm in industrial distribution, right? And the story, if I go too long, just cut me off. I'm learning in my older age that everything is racist. Everything, from the grocery stores that we go to, because I live in a predominantly minority neighborhood now, because it's important for me to live around my people. But now I don't have a grocery store within walking distance of me. But when I was in the predominantly white neighborhood, there was literally 3 grocery stores within a stone's throw. So everything is racist. We went to a vendor lunch. This man is trying to sell us safety glasses. So I know that because African Americans and Asians, if you look to the side, y'all know we got the flat profile. White people don't have the same profile as us. So the guy we were trying on all these different safety glasses that he hopes we would want to buy. And I had to have a conversation with him about the people that work in the shops that we sell to. They are primarily African American, Vietnamese, and Mexican. I don't have white guys that need safety glasses. I do have a shop full of Vietnamese though. I do have a shop full of Filipinos. I have those. And so he's like, well, I've never heard that before. I'm like, well, let me teach you something really quickly, Mr. Safety glass subject matter expert who doesn't seem to know anything but white people profiles. African Americans and Asians have a flatter profile, which means our eyewear needs to be flatter. We can have a gasket around, but it needs to be flatter. All of these round glasses that you brought are good for no one but fish and white people. Those are the only people that can wear them. I'm being serious. Don't make me laugh. It's true. I'm just like, who can wear those? And he's like, well, no one has ever complained before. And I said, that is because brown people have become accustomed to dealing with what has been given to them. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get the Vietnamese man who makes shifts, who goes home and puts a gasket on his safety glasses in his spare time so that he doesn't get metal shards in his eyes. He's not going to say anything. You're not going to get the black guy that is going to just go and buy his own freaking safety glasses. You're not going to get that because we are accustomed to dealing with what you give us.
Right.
And he's like, well, that is news to me. I said, well, I hope you're educated now today. I hope I was able to provide you with some education. So now he's sitting here with 30 pairs of safety glasses, and then it became a Magenta. What about these? Do these fit well? And I was like, sir, I can tell you right now that none of those are going to fit appropriately. But we can play your game. And it's because I was in the room that he now can go back to his product team and say, hey guys, did you guys know that African Americans don't have the same face as Asians, don't have the same face as white people?
Right.
But it's because they typically don't let us in the room because we be having natural hair. And because, you know, we're told to calm down in meetings when we become passionate. Okay, I know it's your puppet. Take it and go. So steps off of soapbox.
Yeah.
But it was a good soapbox, though.
And it's the truth. I mean,
it's true.
And then that, you know, that boils down into the most things are designed for men and not designed for women, especially in the safe space, right? Like everything is designed for a man. I was reading something, or I don't know if I told you this the other day in the party, but reading something or listening to something that said women die more in car accidents because the test dummies are male, like white male, that they are not, the test dummies, right, are not even outfitted to feminine, you know, to feminine bodies. So the safety products that, you know, they're putting in cars or whatever can be able to accommodate our frames, that it's white male. Like I was just so, I was shocked, but then I was just like, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Absolutely. Everything that has been built or designed or invented or created or whatever post this huge kind of entrepreneurial kind of small business growth has been designed for the white man in mind. And now you have, I mean, just with all the different awarenesses that are happening about, you know, just the different demographics that you now have to serve, because now people are starting to speak up and not accept just, what we are being given now. Now you have to look at it differently, because you do have a wider demographic of different people that are consuming your product. So either you're going to serve that population, or you're going to keep yourself isolated and miss out on that money. Right. Because it all comes down to the money.
And access is a bitch, man, because now we know we can Google anything and find out and be like, they did what? They use what? No.
Yep.
I don't need that product.
Information right now.
Yeah, because we are sold to the highest marketing budget.
Right.
That's just what it boils down to. I mean, when you go to the grocery store, the cereal that's the best for you doesn't have a commercial.
Right.
And that's, oh girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
That is
the same thing with hair care products though. Like they market now natural hair care products on TV. That it's a commercial.
But did you miss the part where they be having white women in the commercial though? Did you miss that? Where they be having a white woman market natural hair care products, and then black women go out and buy it, and I'll be like, what are you thinking?
Right.
That's not even for you.
And they use them keywords.
Like they couldn't even put one of us in the video, but you gonna go buy that though?
Right.
Yeah.
But they use them keywords now with shea butter and olive oil.
Right.
And
argan oil,
Moroccan oil. Like that Moroccan oil brand, that like container that's like a little
I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. They have been pulled, I think, because it's like some kind of chemical in it that makes your hair fall out. Wow. I forgot what it was.
That might be why I got these 16 strands. I ain't never used it, but it could be why.
Yeah, but it's like you're paid to the highest bidder. And that's where, I mean, I use, what is that? Not Fructis. What's the other one? Herbal Essence. Like I used to use that because the commercial. I'm like, oh, it just, make you feel like something.
Right.
That was not for my hair at any point of my hair, permed or not.
Not at all.
Oh, you was trying to scream in the shower, Aisha.
Girl,
you was trying to scream in the shower.
Pouring it away.
I hate advertising. I don't, the best products are not advertised like you guys said, and it's just good for us to come up with your own way. In California, they have a lot of, hair shops in the hood and all, these hairs that they have, and the Asians bought all this stuff. And I'm like, why would I, even if I'm going to go get a track to put in my hair, why would I buy anything from you? And you're going to capitalize on this. So if we're going to have and spend our money, we need to spend it with our own people and our own products, because every other culture is capitalizing off of us.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So here's the thing, and that goes back to years and years ago where Asians were given lots of money to put these businesses in our neighborhoods. And now that we have the means and the knowledge to open similar stores, you can't get hair from over there.
Right.
It's a struggle to get products from over there. So hair, unfortunately, it does not come from America.
And at the same time, Serena, I love my people. I do. Y'all know I ride for my people, but I can't depend on them to pay extra and buy it from me because it's me. I do that right all day, every day. I buy stuff from local, small Black businesses whenever I can. Well,
how do when you see the strategy comes in a different way, guys? If we can't get it that way, how do we put them out of business? Everybody go natural. You won't need no fake hair.
That's just not reality. And like, unfortunately,
but if people will be more conscious, it is a reality.
Right, you're saying that. You're saying that.
Sorry. Yeah, and for every 4 of us on the phone, it's 400 that are watching Real Housewives right now. They're not doing anything mind stimulating.
Right.
Not to say there's anything wrong with that show, because I used to watch it, but you can't, and I am learning, homegirl, we cannot save everyone.
No.
So now, everyone that I come in contact with, when they ask me, hey, oh my gosh, Magenta, your car looks amazing. Who details your car? You know what? It's a young man, Clean Auto Solutions. He comes to my house and details my car. You want his Instagram? Or like when somebody's like, oh my gosh, Magenta, Ronnie's hair is always so cute. Her name is Marte Foreman. You want her contact information? Magenta, you losing weight, girl. That baby weight is falling off. His name is Damien. You want his contact information? That is how I contribute to the people that serve me well. Because everybody knows for every one business that is awesome, amazing, the people you get good service and it's priced appropriately, there are 15 other African-American businesses that give you a shit product and charge you $1 million.
And sadly, like, you know, it's because I'm like kind of diving into business things, like little courses and whatnot. I am learning the struggle for Black businesses, and we are harder on ourselves than we are on other people. And, you know, if you go to a Black beauty salon and you get hair and the hair, you take it out and it's not the quality that you wanted or whatever, you're going to go back. But from the agents, you're like, oh, now I got to go back and get another thing of hair. You're not taking it back.
Right.
So it's like you have to give the same grace to a Black owned business that you would to any other business. And, you know, in learning that when they get these products and they get this hair, how much more they have to pay for it because they're not Asian. So they're paying so much more for it, which is why, like, I think there was like the first beauty salon in Compton or something that was Black owned, and that girl had to close because she couldn't get products. She could not get products. She was all over the internet. They were, you know, hyping her up for opening up this beauty salon, first Black owned beauty salon in Compton, or I think it was Compton, and she couldn't get hair. I mean, the regular products, like, you know, you can order that stuff, but she could not get hair. And, you know, you can order stuff on Amazon. Guess where it's coming from? China, probably. Right. Like, so it's one of those things where it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, right. So I get my hair care products from an African beauty supply store, and I do pay more money, but I also know that their selection is limited. So you could tell, like, I'm sure you would have more hair if you had access to more hair. So I'm paying you this extra $2 where I could be saving and have a whole lot of variety, but I know the backstory of why you don't have enough hair in here, why you don't have more options of hair. But products, oh, they got rows and rows of products, all the products you could think of, down to Jerry Curl juice still in there.
Right. So, definitely in there. Get your activator.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm triggered by the talk about Jerry Curl juice because when I first went natural, I used to put that shit in my hair. Don't judge me. I just knew, look, don't judge me. I just knew I wanted curly hair. And I knew that curl activator, it was, hey, I don't care what anybody says. My hair has never been better. I stopped using it because I couldn't take the smell. It smelled like Jerry curl. I couldn't do what I say. Don't judge me. So I used to put that in my hair, and I'm telling you, it was soft. It made it like soft and pliable. Everything. It was the smell for me. I was like, oh, it smells like a Jerry curl. And my mom was like, nigga, it's Jerry Curl juice. And I was like, this is what they use? Oh, no, I got to get this out of my head. Again, man, that's freaking that orange and that yellow and red can, girl.
Was it, what was the other one? Wave Nouveau?
Yeah, know it. And that one was like, it was like a pink and purple, like a purple and purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money.
Girl.
Wow.
Y'all crazy.
All right, y'all. Well, we could definitely sit here and talk about topics for days. But let's go ahead and wrap it up. Does anybody have any final words before we go?
I think I do. For the takeaways, like
you
muted yourself.
Serena, you like somebody's old auntie that's on Zoom, like, can you see me?
Can you see me?
I'm sorry, guys, but listen, I think the takeaways from here, Magenta, when you tell the story about, you having the two young ladies and you becoming their, mom, their stepmom, and you encouraging them to wear natural hair. I think as Black moms and Black aunties and having Black families, that if we encourage the younger generation to wear natural hair and to embrace our own identity, some of these things we can eliminate in the future, because
Right.
these things has been imprinted on us since slavery, and because DNA is linked and is passed down, and it's a generational thing, and we have to break the mindset, which will untangle the DNA and create better mindsets for our kids in the future generation. That is the key and the biggest takeaway I had, Magenta, of that story. That's life changing, to have two young women who are your stepkids, and you put that in their lives, and now they can show their children and their children's children. So if we can hold on to that, that will be able to change our mindset on our own hair, and we can embrace who we are.
Hold on, y'all.
That was a good takeaway. I'm gonna second that.
Right.
Because you can't even follow up from that. Like, that is truly what it is. At this point of our lives, we realized some things that we didn't know, when we were younger and as we were growing up. So it is our responsibility now to give back to our community that, that are coming up behind us. And a lot of what we can do is just allow them to be themselves and accept themselves as who they are, and not force them to try to fit into any social norm that we are. You are creating your own path, however that may look, but you, at the very core of it, you need to be confident and safe in your own, in your own self, your own mind, and be willing to stand on that ground that you are who you are, and be confident in that, and regardless of any space that you walk into.
Amen. Amen. You took me to church right there, girl.
Right, them girls is preaching.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be as eloquent as my track sisters, but I mean, honestly, main takeaway for me is figuring out what works for you and continuing to do that, right? Like, all of us have very different stories. They're so different. We all have very different hair, very different hairstyles, different careers, different lives, and we all ended up in the same place, right? On this awesome natural hair journey, learning how to put our middle finger to the man and doing what we think is best. So for me, it's like, continue to do what works best for you, down with the patriarchy, right? Like, women, we bring the life and we sustain the life. This doesn't happen without us. And I will not allow my hair, or anyone that I love, or anyone that I know that is African American or other, right? Their hair to be a deterrent,
right,
of why they're not awesome and why they can't achieve levels of success.
Right.
So we all rise as a unit, right? Like, right, we all rise as a unit.
And I would just like to say, on this journey that the five of us have been on, we've all learned different things. And I think that it's important for us to not hold on to past expectations, to let down our own views of what we consider to be acceptable. Because I do think that in some instances, yes, we have progressed where we feel things are moving forward. But as I said, like, I had a friend that feels like a tight afro is lazy and not appropriate. So I think that you have to think outside of the box from what someone else is telling you is appropriate, is attractive. And, for all of you who are a little bit younger and you're kind of reluctant to be a natural because guys talk to you more when you have braids or weaves or wigs, that's not the person for you. if they can't accept you in your natural state without the makeup, without the hair extensions, without, you know, butt pads and all that other extra stuff, that's not the person for you. And there's nothing wrong with you changing it up, but change it up for yourself and not for other people. I wore dreads all summer and I loved it. I loved having those locks. It was fun to just do something different. I had different types of locks and I did that for myself. Jamel did like it, but he was also telling me that I should, you know, do my own locks. And I'm too indecisive to make that type of commitment with my hair. So we haven't gone into retirement yet. We're still on our grown-up journey. So maybe once I get to the point where it's gray, I might lock it up and just, you know, be in retirement with my hair. But have fun with your hair. You know, you want to wear a wig, wear a wig. You want to wear braids, wear braids. But again, don't do it because you feel it's acceptable from a outside person's perspective. Do it because you just want to do it for yourself. And I think that our hair is tied a lot to our self-esteem. And when you accept that hair, your self-esteem changes. I don't care who you are. You could be a man, a woman. You could be, you know, mixed race. Your hair is tied to your self-esteem. And so when you feel you need to change it, then you need to start looking at yourself like, why do you need this change? Why do you need your hair to be straight all the time? Why do you need, if it's outside of, you know, what you want, are you doing it to make somebody else happy or are you doing it to make yourself happy? And I think that over time, that's what I had to grow into understanding, that this is my hair growing out of my head and I need to do what I want to do with it, not what I think other people feel I should do with it.
Right.
So, ladies,
Yes, way to wrap it up, Aisha.
Yes, way to close that out.
This has been so fun. Like I said, I appreciate y'all for taking the time out tonight to have this discussion. This was fun. It was informative. And yeah, my friends, I feel like
I know. I feel like I haven't seen anybody in forever.
Yes.
I miss all of you guys. Magenta, I'll see you soon.
I'm going to just stop recording, Serena, because I don't want you to go on record and knowing you not.
I'm on record.
I was just about to say, she was so excited talking about, I'm going to come through there, blah, blah, blah. When she heard my mom and Ricky wasn't here, she was like, well, I wanted to see everybody. I said, well, God damn it, I'm here. Like, I'm home all day.
Can I matter too?
You know you matter to me. I'll see you, sister. I'll see you guys later.
Serena, friends.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
All right,
You too. Love you guys. Bye.
And that's a wrap on another amazing episode. I know that you were just as inspired as I was after listening to that conversation. And to let us know how we're doing, don't forget to leave us a review, like, share, and follow the podcast. Also, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at The Black Girl Blogger and check out our website, www.theblackgirlblogger.com. And the most important step, make sure you share the podcast with someone you know and tell them to share it with someone they know. And if you know someone who has an amazing story to tell, or if you yourself would love to tell your story, leave us a message on our website or any of our social media platforms so we can reach out to you and have you on the podcast. Until next time, peace out.